Hey, what's up everyone? It's Duskmost, and today we're taking a look at the Batverb from Noise Engineering. Let's check it out. Okay, so for the Signal Colors primer, we're taking a look at the Batverb, and Noise Engineering describes it as a stereo, experimental reverb, and synthetic tail generator. And I think that's pretty spot on. It's very experimental, and it can create really interesting tails and trails, reverb and delay type sounds. And it's got some really unique features on board. Things like ducking, so it can kind of dip the reverb tails as input comes in. And it can go from a traditional sort of duck sound to a gated reverb sound, which is a little bit more chopped in and out and has a really pronounced effect. Really cool. It's got grit, which is like a distortion, which you can apply to the combined or the wet signal. It's got a focus toggle, which allows you to shift between more pointed delays into more of like a smeared, more reverb-esque type tail. It has shimmer and it has doom. Doom is like a sub-octave chorus, and shimmer's a detuned octave up effect that gets added to the reverb. Of course, you got controls over your time and input. A little bit more boring there, but as you shorten the time, you can get those really tight, almost like comb type filtering, sort of car plus strong kind of tight delay sounds, all the way up to really long delays or a really smeary repeat. And then input output is a analog gain stage that controls just your input. So how much you're hitting the Batverb with signal wise. And it's got an infinite hold mode as well, which is a really cool just freeze where it will ignore incoming signals and then just hold that reverb, that tail, and allow you to drop those moments in, which is really fun as well. It's got expression control with either CV or normal expression. It's got MIDI in and through, and presets over MIDI also. You've got expanded controls in the sub mode where you hit the bat switch there on the bat, and it will allow you to tweak the low pass or the high pass filter on the reverb, or change your ducking, or choose your expression or your MIDI options. Just a ton of control, a ton of options to play around with. And yeah, like I said, that description of it being experimental is just spot on because there's a lot you can do and a lot of places you can take this thing. As you can tell, it's stereo in and out, and I'm coming out of the OPXY from Teenage Engineering, in on stereo, 1/4 inch, and then out stereo 1/4 inch into the TX6 and then out into the camera. I noticed I left it engaged this whole time, but that's just because it's that good. You just want to leave it on, you know? How good, you ask? Well, we need to hear it. But before we do that, I want to thank Noise Engineering for sending this out for me to demo on the channel. Really excited about this one. If you haven't seen my Dystopia demo, another Noise Engineering pedal, definitely check that out. You'll find it on my channel as well. Okay, so I have a couple patterns with drums and synth lines. Nothing crazy, as per usual. I kind of keep it fairly chill so you can just hear what the pedal is doing. So in this case, I'm going to give the Batverb some room to shine. But I'll just go ahead and start. So this is what the clean synth sound sounds like. And it will eventually bring in some drums, which sound like this. But we're going to start with just the synth first. So you can get the picture of what this does before we go too crazy. Let's go ahead and engage it. So already you can see this is on pointed mode. That's why you hear those delays. Shorten the time up. Really tighten it. All the way to like a very close sort of doubling sound. Regen, of course, it's like your feedback, so you can hear. You keep a real tight, like one delay. Or a lot. Or a crazy number if you really ratchet it up. And you can hear, even though this is on pointed mode, you've got the regen up a lot. It gets a little bit closer to a reverb. Or a lot of bit. I've got blend kind of on the safe side here. Bring the regen down. So right now I want to focus on the focus. So again, this is sharp. You hear those delays pretty independently. Now we'll switch it into this far away mode. So already you can hear it's a bit different character. And a little bit more smeared. Less aggressive, less attacky sort of delays. Now we'll switch it to near. And now it's the most diffuse. And definitely sounds more like reverb already. Right now I've got Doom and Shimmer both all the way down, and Grit is off, so... And then Duck is off as well. Let's add Grit just to the wet signal. So you can hear it's kind of a fuzzed, almost crushed, crunch kind of sound. Not quite bit crush. We can go to full Grit, which is input. So clean and wet. Let's back the Grit out here. We'll try ducking on sort of the gated mode. You don't hear it much now because the input is... We also need to turn the ducking level, so we hold the bat button. So now you really hear it dropping out a bit. We have the down or the up mode. So in this mode, it follows the input. Let's tweak the duck level again. And we'll try this more on the drum mode as well. Get a little bit of a different response when you get... You'll hear it chopping out a little bit more there. You'll hear it even more if we turn up some shimmer, so let's go ahead and do that. Actually, I'll go ahead and bring the drums in. So with the ducking and the down here, we turn it off. And you can hear a lot more comes through. Let's engage it again. Crank up the time as well. Also, this light on the hold side reflects the ducking. Now you can really hear it kind of bumping up when that kick comes in this mode. A little bit more chopped out. And you can control, like, the response is a little different too as you vary the input. I don't want to mess with it too much because it sounds good right now. I'm going to ditch the shimmer. I'm going to go back to no drums. And let's hear some doom. You can hear it's beefed up a little bit, a little bassier. You can hear those extra deep hits coming through. And I actually have the ducking on again, so actually get rid of that so you hear it a little bit more. Definitely a little bit creepier in a very cool way. Yeah, we'll change up the focus mode just to see some other flavors, or hear some other flavors. Time really ratchet up. Let's bring that down some. So big, huge doom sound. And we'll play with the filter now, so you can press and hold the bat. You get a high pass. Kind of offsets the doom a little bit. Maybe don't want that. It does make it sound like there's a bit of a thunderstorm on the horizon. Got the low pass. You can really muck it up if you want. Darken the sound. It makes it sound really just mysterious. I'm gonna bring the drums in with this setting. Change up the ducking. Got doom and shimmer up. Let's open the filter. Keep the regen really light. And that's a really cool sound. You can switch from the far to the near. Focus. Let's bring in some grit on the wet only. Do grit on everything. Get a little bit of a, definitely more of a fuzz kind of sound. Got rid of that. We have the time all the way down, but I'll turn the regen up. Get some interesting sounds that way too. Bring the doom back. We'll go to the least diffused mode. Focus. So that's cool. That's giving it some space between the incoming notes and the tail of the reverb. Let's add some grit. Crazy. Switch up the focus to far. Boost the doom all the way. Really interesting sound. No doom. Full shimmer. Quite a bit tighter on the regen. We'll move the focus to the near mode. Remember, we have grit on, so it's a little bit crispier. Pretty cool, though. Let's get it on all the way. Adjust the drum loop. I flipped the duck over. Never said that before. Tweak the duck amount. Pretty wild stuff. Okay, I'm going to shift patterns here into another one. And this is what it sounds like clean. So different sounds, similar kind of components to the first one. Keep the drums out and we'll just start with the synths again. Pretty cool, like electro sound. You got it ducked, so even though I ratcheted up the shimmer, you don't hear a whole lot. I'm gonna back the ducking off. So that's kind of a cool move to jump between like a chorus and a verse. You've got like the tighter pattern here with it ducked. Then you flip it. You get that big wide open expanse. Pretty cool. Yeah, it's pretty sweet. Turn on some grit. Up the doom. We'll bring the focus to the far away. Oh, pretty crazy. Definitely more of a delay there. Find something that works. Let's tweak the filter. Kind of get the kick out of the reverb. Get the grit out. I'm gonna remove the ducking too. Pretty cool for like sort of glitch out effects too. Okay, I haven't shown the freeze mode or the hold yet. Let's do, let me go about here. And we'll press and hold. Kind of like ramping up the regen. Oh yeah. Like organ. Dang. Well, that is awesome. So there you go. That is my first look at the Batverb. As you can tell, really interesting, really different. I think really jammable too. Like, it's pretty fun just kind of wrenching on the knobs and flipping between the modes. I really was impressed and surprised by the flipping between the duck and the unduck mode. Kind of getting those two flavors. Pretty cool, pretty usable. Having the different focus modes is cool. The grit in various degree is also really cool. And yeah, it's just a really different pedal. I don't know that I've really come across too many that combine the sort of like polar opposites of like a shimmer and a doom and a grit kind of thing. It's like the sparkly, shiny stuff and then the dark, gritty, grimy. Really cool. Really different. And I have to say I'm impressed. Like I don't want to say refreshing, but like it is. It's just a different whole thing. I'm feeling it. That being said, thanks again to Noise Engineering for sending this out for me to demo on the channel. It's really cool seeing them bring out pedals after being so big in the Eurorag game. Let me know in the comments. I'm curious to hear what you think. On that note, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.